Title: The Letterbox. On a quiet street in a small English town, there was a peculiar red letterbox standing on the corner. Unlike the others, this one didn't seem to belong to the Royal Mail. It had no collection times listed, no insignia on its surface. Yet it was always polished, as though someone took care of it. The locals called it the Forgotten Box. People rarely used it, but there was an unspoken belief that if you posted a letter there, it might not go where you intended, but it would end up where it was meant to be. Emily had lived on that street her entire life. She had passed by the letterbox every day, but had never given it much thought. Her life had been ordinary: a steady job as a librarian, a small flat, and an aging cat named Oliver. But one rainy evening, while sorting through old papers, Emily found an unsent letter addressed to her late father. It was dated 3 years earlier, written in her own shaky handwriting. The letter read, "Dear Dad, I'm sorry. I know we didn't always see eye to eye, but I miss you. I wish I could tell you that you were right about so many things, about love, about life. I just hope you knew how much I loved you, even when I didn't show it." Her hands trembled as she held the letter. It was too late to send it, but the words still burned in her heart. The next morning, Emily walked to the Forgotten Box. On a whim, she slipped the letter inside, unsure why she was doing it. "It's silly," she muttered to herself as she walked away. "It's just an old mailbox." Days turned into weeks, and Emily forgot about the letter. But then, one evening, she found an envelope on her doorstep. It was old and yellowed, with no stamp or postmark, yet her name was written on it in her father's handwriting. Heart-pounding, she opened it. "Dear Emily, I always knew you loved me, and I'm sorry, too. I wish I had told you more often how proud I was of you, how much I admired your strength. It's never too late to start forgiving ourselves for the things we didn't say. Love, Dad." Emily stared at the letter, tears streaming down her face. It couldn't be real. Her father had passed years ago, and yet the words felt undeniably his. Word spread quickly about Emily's letter. Others in the town began posting their own unsent messages into Forgotten Box. A woman wrote to her childhood best friend she hadn't seen in decades. A young man wrote to the brother he had lost in an accident. A little girl posted a letter to her pet dog that had passed away. And slowly, one by one, letters began appearing on doorsteps. Each carried answers, reassurances, and closure in ways that defied logic, but felt undeniably real. Emily became the unofficial caretaker of the letterbox, polishing it and ensuring it was never forgotten. Though she never fully understood how it worked, she believed it gave people something they desperately needed, a chance to say what was left unsaid. For Emily, life felt fuller now. She still missed her father, but she no longer carried the weight of regret. Every time she walked past the Forgotten Box, she smiled, knowing it wasn't just a mailbox. It was a bridge between hearts, a reminder that some connections can't be broken, not by time, nor distance, nor even death. And so the red letterbox stood quietly on the corner, waiting for the next letter that needed to find its way home.